Hi, okay. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what Frege thinks is the sense and the reference, mainly the reference, of an entire sentence. So he introduces this sort of question so he starts by saying, this is on page 156 in the translation we've got for this class. So far, we've considered the sense and reference only of such expressions, words, or signs as we have called proper names. So things like the evening star, the point of intersection of A and B, and so on, right? Where the reference of those things is going to be whatever object, person, individual thing, whatever it is that's named by the name. So the reference of the evening star, that name, is a certain thing up in the sky there somewhere. Okay. The sense of the name is the mode of presentation by which that name puts that object before our mind, or something like that. Okay. Now we inquire concerning the sense and reference of an entire assertoric sentence. Okay, what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to tell you, first of all, I'll tell you what Frege, how he answers this question. Okay, what's the sense of an entire sentence? He calls it a thought. What's a thought? I don't know. You can maybe take that as a stipulative definition. I will call that thing a thought, whatever it might be. Okay, here's a more substantive conclusion. He thinks the reference of a complete sentence is its truth value. So either true or false, depending on whether the sentence is true or false. I'm going to leave it to you as a reading exercise to find what argument Frege actually gives in this paper for that conclusion. There are a couple of places where it comes up. There are a few places where you can see him giving an argument along these lines. Some of them are of the form, here's my hypothesis, that's what the reference of a sentence is. And now we'll put it to some kind of test. We'll see what it looks like. Okay. But what I'm going to do in this video is give you a short argument that isn't actually there in this paper. This is a later discovery, invention, creation, given on behalf of Frege's view. Okay, so I'm going to give you a short argument to say every true sentence has to have the same reference. So I'm just going to assume that sentences as a whole do actually have a reference and a sense. And I'm going to show that all the true ones have to have the same one. And you can do the same thing for all false sentences. So what is it that could possibly be held in common between all true sentences? Basically, there's just their truth value. There are so many things that are true, likewise for false things. So if the reference of a true sentence is something it has in common with every other true sentence, it seems like it's got to be the truth value itself. Okay, so here's the argument. I'll run this through over here. So start with any true sentence you like. Venus is the evening star. I'm going to go through a series of steps that I think in the end will tell me you have to have the same reference for sentence 1 as for sentence 6. So for sentence 6, let's just put in something else true that has nothing to do with sentence 1. So if it turns out that sentence 1 and sentence 6 have to have the same reference, and you'll see from the steps we take, you could replace those two sentences with any other two true sentences. If those things have to have the same reference, then we'll conclude the reference of the sentence has to be its truth value. Okay, so step 1, I'm going to replace the sentence Venus is the evening star with another one that Frege argues expresses exactly the same thought. And remember, a thought for Frege is the sense of a complete sentence. Whenever you have the same sense, you've got to have the same reference, because the sense determines the reference. Okay. So here's the here's sentence 2. It is true that Venus is the evening star. Decapitalize evening star? Whatever, I'll capitalize it. Okay. And likewise, my sentence 5 will be this one. Okay, so Frege argues that 1 and 2, 5 and 6, they express exactly the same thought, so they have the same reference, so they have to have the same sense. Sorry, they have to have the same reference. They have the same, all the stuff is the same. Basically, Frege thinks adding on these 4 words does nothing, saying it is true that, well, when I tell you Roger is recording a video, I'm putting that forward as true. So if I make it explicit, no wait, it's true that I'm recording a video. I haven't said anything else. I haven't said anything extra. Okay, so 1 and 2, 5 and 6, they've got to have the same reference because they express the same thought. Okay. I'm going to rephrase 2. This is going to give me number 3. So if I'm saying it's true that Venus is the evening star, then that's another way of saying the same thing is the truth value of that sentence. I'll put it in quotes now. The truth value of Venus is the evening star is true, or the way Frege says it in our translation, it is the true. He calls the 2 truth values the true and the false, which sounds very important. Okay. The truth value of Venus is the evening star is true. That, again, expresses the same thought as 2. This is no different. I'm just using the slightly different formation of words. Similarly, you might think Clark Kent is identical with Superman, says the same thing, expresses exactly the same thought as Superman is identical with Clark Kent. Reversing the order of things doesn't make a difference. This is just a reconfiguration of exactly the same thought. Okay, and I'm going to do a similar transformation between 4 and 5. So, sentence 4 then is going to be the truth value of Roger is recording a video is the truth. Okay, so that leaves us to say, so we said 1, 2, 3, those all express the same thought. 4, 5, 6, those all express the same thought. It means 1, 2, 3 have the same sense, so they have to have the same reference. 4, 5, 6 have the same sense, so they have to have the same reference. What about the connection between 3 and 4? Well, notice that first bit, that's a name. That's a description of a certain truth value. That has a reference. Regardless of whether you think sentences have a truth reference, have a reference. The reference of a description like this, the truth value of Venus is the evening star, that either points to, that either picks out true or false. Right? It's just like an expression like, I'll type it down here so you know what I'm saying. The number of letters in Boris. That's a name. That's a description. That picks out a certain thing. Which thing? 5. So when I say something like this, the number of letters in Boris is 5, I'm naming a certain thing with the name over here, and naming a certain thing with the name over there, and telling you it's the same thing. I don't know how to draw a number. Hopefully that's clear. Okay. The idea is this claim, this is an identity claim, just like we saw in the first couple pages of the paper, right? And we say, when you have an identity claim, what's going on is we're saying the sense expressed by the name on the left is it refers to the same thing as the sense expressed by the thing on the right. And likewise, 3 and 4, those sentences up there, those are identity claims. So, what's going on now? Well, assuming that both of these sentences we started with, 1 and 6, are true, then the reference of the truth value of Venus is the evening star is going to be the same as the truth value of Roger is recording a video. That means, so because of compositionality, the difference between 3 and 4 is just replacing this description, the truth value of Venus is the evening star, replacing that description with this description. But we know that those two descriptions have the same reference because they describe true. Both of them point to the truth value true. So when I substitute from 3 to 4 this expression for that expression, that means by compositionality that these two sentences have to have the same reference by compositionality. So 1, 2, and 3 have the same reference because they express the same thought. 3 and 4 express different thoughts, but they have to have the same reference because of compositionality, because the substitution we've done here between the truth value of Venus is the evening star and the truth value of Roger is recording a video, those two things have the same reference. So the reference of the entire sentence that those things are embedded in, those descriptions are embedded in, has to be the same. So when you change it all together, 1 and 6 have to have the same reference. All they've got in common is that they're true sentences, right? Anything I could make this move on between 3 and 4, we'd be able to run the same argument, and anything true, I could do that same move. Okay, there's your argument. That's why Frege thinks the reference of a complete sentence is its truth value. This will be useful when we talk about substitution failure. So that's your next video.